That looks amazing.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Now it's our turn. Are you ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to our special Christmas video. My name is Kate.
My name's Erin.
Today we're going to be reminiscing about Christmases past. Don't forget, you can stop this video at any time and have a chat with the people around you.
So Kate, what should we talk about first?
Well, I think we really need to talk about that lovely Christmas tree.
Okay, no problem. What should we start with?
Let's look at some of the decorations.
Okay. I'm going to let you pick first. Which one's your favourite?
My favourite is the white snowflake.
Oh, it's this one.
It is. That one was made by my mum in the 1960s, and it's just a little tiny knitted snowflake with a little tiny red bell on the end. Have a listen.
Sounds like sleigh bells.
It does, doesn't it? So Mum would have made lots of these, but they wouldn't necessarily all be the same, because of course snowflakes are all individual.
Did she teach you how to crochet as well?
Yes, she did.
Ah.
Which one's your favourite?
My favourite one is probably the silk ones. It's just up here if I can reach. These silk baubles. My grandparents have lots of these, and I think my nan used to make them as well. I think they're very nostalgic. They look very classic. I love the feel of them. That reminds me of getting the tree ready.
And when the light catches them, they really glisten and shine, don't they?
Yeah, they're very simple but really, really beautiful, and they come in all sorts of colours. And I don't know, I just think they're my favourite. I really like them. Is there anything else on here that catches your eye, Kate?
Well, what catches my eye? I think the handmade paper mache ones.
Okay.
Yeah?
One like this one?
Yeah, one like that one. So this is quite a small ball, but I don't know how on earth they were made, but it's paper mache and it's got a lovely design on. It's got a Christmas tree with Father Christmas by a fire. Oh, rather like this. All we need now is Santa.
Have you been good though?
I'm always good.
There's still time.
There's still time. Well, if I haven't, I know I'll get coal in my stocking.
Yeah.
So yeah, these also date back to 1940s, 1950s. So I wonder what type of Christmas decorations you had on your tree. So of course, closer to Christmas, you'd want to decorate the rest of your house. So Erin, what is there here that you might have used?
There are plenty of things on there that I would have used, but one thing my mum always used to do is she would never decorate before my birthday. So my birthday is December the 5th, and after the birthday was finished, then we'd go out to the local woods and we would cut ivy and holly fresh, and then she would make a garland for the fireplace, like this one, and around the mirror and around the door frames.
Oh, that sounds really nice.
Yeah, just make sure you don't find any little spiders on you or anything like that. She didn't worry about that kind of thing. Yeah, we would do that. We would make paper chains, which we've spoken about.
Did you have any ornaments like this one?
That is really beautiful. My family had inflatable Christmas ornaments, so they had snowmen, they had a reindeer, and they had a giant Santa in the living room.
In the living room,
yeah.
Not outside?
No, in the living room. They were sort of about 4 or 5 feet high every Christmas, and then candles, snow globes, everything. It was pretty serious. So Kate, are there any other things that your family would use from nature to decorate the house?
Yeah, we would go out, my sisters and I would go out and we go and collect lots of fir cones like this beautiful one, and we drop some bits of glue into it and sprinkle it with some glitter, and then we put a ribbon on it and hang it from the tree or put it around the base of the tree.
Did you ever put them in the oven to dry them out as well, or is that just what my mum used to do?
I don't remember that.
I think
maybe Mum did. but I don't remember.
People might have, I don't know if anyone else did it in a warm place, but it's, when you get them, sometimes they're partially closed, so it just makes them open up. They look a bit nicer like that, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. And another plant that my mum would have gone and bought is a poinsettia with the lovely ruby coloured leaves, and we always had one of those at home.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
That's a real Christmas flower, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely.
And of course, the one plant that we don't have here at the moment is some mistletoe, and that dates back. The story behind that is an old Norse story. So the berries are supposed to be a mother's tears, but it was tears of joy.
Okay.
And of course, the myth about kissing under the Christmas tree is because the mother went around holding the mistletoe and kissing everybody because she was so joyous that her son had been saved.
Oh, that's a lovely story.
So that's the story of Frigga and Balder. Erin, there's one final thing we need to do to make the tree finished and ready. Would you like to do the honours?
I would love to. Perfect. So there are two very important things that need to be done in advance of Christmas. And the first one of those is writing our Christmas cards. So Kate, have you written your Christmas cards this year? I'm not going to get one,
only the ones that need to go in the post.
Okay.
So I'm always mindful of the last posting dates.
Right.
So yeah, writing Christmas cards, I think it's something that most of us do every year, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, my list seems to be getting shorter.
Yeah, my nan has a sister in Australia, and obviously that takes quite a long time to arrive, so she probably has to think about it around November time to make sure it gets there. But you've got a lovely card here from the 50s, is it?
I do. This one's from the mid-50s, and it's very simple. It's not quite as bright and glossy as the ones today, is it?
It's not. It's more like paper as well.
It is.
It's not as thick as the card as cards are now.
No, and actually, it's a bifold card.
Oh,
So-
I see. It really is beautiful though. Where did you find that?
I found this one when I was going through some of my mum's belongings when she moved house. And when I opened it up, it says, "To Aunt Beat, Paddy and Joan and children, from Phyllis and Lionel." And that actually tells me that it was one of the first two Christmases that my mum and dad were married, because my sisters aren't on there and neither am I.
Ah.
Shall I read the greeting to you?
Yeah.
It says, "Of all good things that Christmas brings, the old ones and the new, I hope you'll find the nicest kind are coming straight to you."
Oh, I love that one.
It's a really nice greeting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good condition as well. It's beautiful.
Well, obviously, Auntie Beat, Paddy and Joan didn't get the card.
Of course they would never received it. Just realised.
Obviously missed the post.
Oh dear. Maybe they had a falling out. And another thing I was thinking of that needs to be done in advance of Christmas. Can you think what I'm thinking?
The shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting ready for Christmas. The presents for the children. Yeah. Maybe your mum and dad did this, or maybe you did this as a parent yourself. Starting the Christmas shopping early.
It can be a little bit depressing how quickly Christmas rolls around, isn't it?
It seems the older I get, the faster Christmas rolls around.
We used to circle what we wanted in a catalogue. I don't know if anyone else still does that.
I think it's a very good way of whiling away an afternoon for a child.
Yes.
My own children definitely did that too.
Yeah. Did you ever find any presents secretly hidden in your house as a child?
Oh, as a child, yeah, I quickly learned where Mum's hiding place was, which it's a double-edged sword, really.
Yeah.
It's, do I go and peep and spoil the surprise? But the other side to that, of course, is, does Mum remember and Dad remember where the Christmas presents are hidden?
True.
Personally, some Christmas presents have turned into birthday presents.
Because they found them later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents used to keep them at the back of the cupboard at the top, thinking that I wouldn't find them.
Top of the wardrobe.
Yeah, definitely.
Strangely enough, that's where I put presents too. Not a lot changes.
No.
So getting ready for Christmas, Erin, is not just about going out and doing the present shopping, is it? Or decorating the house. Food preparation is really important.
And some things you have to start a long time before Christmas.
That's right. So I think under our tree, we've got a few of those things that we might need to be looking at.
Is this what you're looking for, Kate?
It certainly is. Now, I'd like to have some nice biscuits in here, but today, I think we've got some other goodies. So, Erin, I've brought the tin to the table so we can take a closer look at it. Let's see what's inside, shall we?
Yes. I think there's one thing in there I recognise straight away.
What's that then?
And that's the smell box. So this is what we sometimes use on our sessions, isn't it?
That's right.
I'm going to have a smell of this. But you have to tell me first, is it a good smell or a bad smell?
I think it's a good smell.
It's a good smell, let's hope so.
It's a good smell of Christmas.
I'm going to take the top off. Oh, that is a nice smell. I'm just trying to think of what it reminds me of. I can smell oranges and I can smell cloves. Is it a Christingle?
It is.
So Christingle is where you put the cloves in the orange peel and then a candle on top. And when you light the candle, it really makes that Christmas smell come through.
It certainly does.
I'm going to pop that one to the side then. What's next?
Oh, let's take a look at these.
Oh, I know what these are for.
What would you have used these on? What sort of...
Well, every Christmas, I like to make gingerbread. And I like to do them in different shapes. And I give them as gifts to people. So I've got this one, I think. That one is an angel.
It is.
Little angel.
And I've got a shooting star.
I've also got at home, I have Christmas trees. And obviously the classic ginger man and ginger lady as well. She's got a little dress on. So I like to decorate them. Sometimes using currants.
Yes.
And also icing sugar. And sometimes sweets. If I can find the right ones. What do you like to make with your cookie cutters?
Well, I would have made shortbread actually.
Oh.
And then dipped it in chocolate.
Oh, nice. That's lovely.
Maybe not traditional.
Make your own traditions at Christmas, can't you?
You certainly do. Right, what else have we got in there? Yeah. So I'm going to choose this one next.
Oh, what is it?
Don't you know?
Oh, it looks kind of like a party hat, but I'm not sure. It looks a bit big.
It is. It's actually cake ribbon.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So when you've made your cake and you've spent your weeks and weeks feeding your cake with, I don't know, would you have fed it with whiskey? Do you feed a Christmas cake?
I don't know, but you want to put as much in as possible, don't you? Is it brandy, I think, that goes into ours?
Quite possibly. And then when you've decorated it, this is what you'd put around the edge.
There was a day, I think it's called Stir Up Sunday, where you would all come together and have a stir for good luck of the Christmas cake. Well, I can't remember which day. Is it the end of November?
It's the end of November, and Stir Up Sunday is when you make your Christmas puddings as well.
Right.
So everyone comes together, as you say, in the kitchen, and with each stir, you make a wish. But you can't tell anybody what your wish is, because otherwise it won't come true.
Is there something else you put in the Christmas pudding as well?
I wonder if we've got one in this tin. Ah, look, here we are. A little silver sixpence.
So you might have found that in your Christmas pudding when you were eating it.
Absolutely.
You've got to be careful then, don't take a big bite on it.
Well, I think everybody used to know that the sixpences were in the puddings, and you would eat very carefully around it. in the hope that you were going to find one of
The
those.
question is, once you found it, did you get to keep it?
Of course.
Ah.
Yeah. Sixpence could have been quite a lot of money.
Mm.
I was certainly always pleased to find one of those.
So in my family, my mum does all the cooking every day of the year, except for at Christmas when my dad makes the Christmas cake. So he would always put the cake on a lovely silver board underneath, and he will actually ice our cake with royal icing, with a layer of marzipan, and then he will use some Christmas decorations. So got a couple here, got a Santa, a snowman. There are lots of things you can use for the top of the Christmas cake, of course. I wonder what things you have at home that you use for your Christmas cake. Got a little one here, little tray there, and you can make a little snow scene. So I love seeing what my dad's put on the cake each year, but best of all, I like to eat it.
Does he go for a different idea each year?
He does. So last Christmas was a chocolate log with a little robin that had walked through the snow. So that was quite sweet.
What are you hoping for this year?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he'll come up with, but I'm sure it'll be nice. It doesn't last very long anyway. We look at it for about 10 seconds and then we start eating it.
Yeah. A Christmas cake doesn't last very long in my house either.
No. What else have you got there? That's quite interesting.
This one is a little dessert dish. So 1950s, made of waxed paper so it could be reused. Probably had a jelly in it or some sort of trifle.
It's really, really, really beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
It's decorated with holly and poinsettia around the edge. And it's quite sturdy.
It is. It looks like it's going to be soft and papery, but actually it is quite hard. It's slightly malleable, but it's really kind of tough. You could definitely use that twice at least.
Oh, it's definitely.
So we've got some of our favourite Christmas treats laid out on the table. So somebody started eating the Quality Street. I don't know if you saw who it was.
No, I don't know.
I've got
but
no idea.
no, looks like they've had a jolly good go. Look, pretend's nearly empty.
Oh, we may as well just finish those off then, shouldn't we?
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Of course, there are lots of other yummy things on the table as well. So, for example, we've talked about the chestnuts at the market and cooking them on the fire at home. What about these other ones?
They are hazelnuts, are they?
They're hazelnuts, yeah. What about that one?
That one is a walnut.
It is.
And I think that sometimes the shells would be used to make decorations as well, wouldn't they? The
They
walnut
would have
shells. Yeah, I love using the nutcracker on these because you get a really good crunch.
Yeah, but you have to be really strong.
That's true.
And then you've got this one here.
Which one is that then?
That's an almond.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
You can almost see by the shape of it, it's kind of got these sort of small holes, small pits in there. And then the almond would be inside.
That's right.
And again, the almond, of course, is the flavouring for marzipan, which is another Christmas flavour.
Yep. And in Germany, marzipan is sort of one of the main ingredients of this lovely cake here. So, do you know what this is?
Do you know what? I've forgotten what it's called.
It's called a Stollen.
Stop. Yeah, of course it is.
Did you want to cut it?
I would love nothing more than to cut it. Most importantly, do we get to taste it?
Of course you can.
Oh, it looks quite tough.
I think that's the layer of marzipan in it.
Oh, wow.
But it's like a fruit bread. There you go.
Have we go?
You
Okay.
can.
Wow.
Dig in.
It almost looks like a cake, but you can see the big chunks of marzipan in that. And it smells very much like a fruit cake, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
I'm going to have a little taste.
Is it good?
I don't want to talk with my mouth full, but I give it a 10 out of 10.
So of course, the Stollen's got fruit enriched fruit, so it would have been soaked in alcohol, like a Christmas pudding, and like your Christmas cake. I wonder if you can think of another country that has a different type of fruit cake.
Oh, whenever I go to a department store for Christmas, they have these beautiful big boxes with a certain type of fruit, bread, cake in it.
Yeah.
Are we thinking of the same thing?
I think the Italian one,
Mm-hmm.
panettone.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Do you like panettone at Christmas?
My brother-in-law is Italian, so we always have it.
So it's not so special for you?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
But it's really important to them.
Mm.
And of course, we've got our own mince pies here. Very pretty decorated ones.
Do you ever make your own mince pies?
I've tried. I'm not good at making pastry.
No.
And I'm very generous, over generous with the filling, so we get mince splats.
Yeah, I have, but I cheat with the pastry and I cheat with the mincemeat. So I'm not sure if you call that baking your own mince pies or just constructing your own mince pies.
I think you call that constructing your own mince pies.
Yeah.
But let's look around the table again. So we've got the Quality Street. Is there one Quality Street chocolate that would be left in the tin?
When I was younger, none of us liked anything coconutty. I think there might be one in a Quality Street that's coconutty. I think that would be. It wouldn't be left now, but as a child, we didn't like those.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
The orange creams.
Yeah.
Always the orange creams.
I think they're all right, but yeah, they're definitely not a favourite, are they? I think the purple one always goes first. Do you think?
Yes, I think the purple one always goes first. Or the green triangles.
Yes.
But have you noticed how much the tin has shrunk?
When is that tin from?
This is a 1980s tin.
Is it?
It is.
So it's not really that old then, about 40 years.
It's about 40 years old, yeah.
So we've got our tin that we used
Well,
to
can
make.
you even call it a tin? It's made of plastic.
No, not really. Should we make a comparison then, the
Yeah.
size?
So let's put that.
Daylight robbery. What a shame. We'd have to buy 3 of those plastic ones to fill up our tin.
We would.
And we will. As long as we don't eat them before it gets filled up.
Is the chocolate the same though?
I'm not sure. I still enjoy it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm not sure if it's changed. But the design of the tins, it might be a tin or it might be a plastic box. But the advertising's still the same.
It's got that really expensive purple colour that makes you think of Christmas.
It has, hasn't it? And then another chocolate that makes me think of Christmas is this one here. Terry's chocolate orange.
Is there a chocolate orange in that box?
Would you like there to be?
I would, but I don't think there is there?
I think you better take a look just to find out.
Someone's eaten it.
Oh, that's a shame.
When you get your chocolate orange at Christmas and you hold it and you give it a good smack on top to break it up. I love that sound of the really hard chocolate and then you can get stuck in.
Yeah. But strangely enough, we've got cake, we've got nuts, we've got chocolate, and then we've got an apple. What's that all about?
This is a carved apple, so I've made an attempt to draw on it myself. But this is a Buddhist tradition. So lots of Buddhist countries around the world would do this on the 8th of December for Bodhi Day.
Oh, okay. So that would include China, Japan?
Yes. Yep. Any Buddhist country would usually do this tradition. Yeah, I think I need a little bit of practice though before I get to the right level.
It looks like you've had a little nibble.
Yeah, I don't think I'm quite doing it justice, but yeah.
Good try though.
Yeah.
The Christmas isn't necessarily celebrated just on the 24th and 25th of December around the world, is it?
No.
I wonder, do you know any other traditions?
I know that Krampus is a mythical character from lots of Eastern European countries. He can be quite a scary character though. I think he's kind of he's not sort of a jolly, nice red happy man like Father Christmas, but he's kind of a very scary hood wearing. He has a stick and he's sort of very dark and hobbly and he does trick or treat on children basically. Yeah, I think children can be quite afraid of him if they misbehave.
So does he bring something good or something nasty depending on whether you behave or not?
I think he'll bring twigs. I think he brings twigs to children.
Brings golden twigs if you're bad, but sweets if you're good, maybe?
Yes. Or small gifts.
Okay, that's a little bit like Sinterklaas in the Netherlands, in Holland. So on the 5th of December, Sinterklaas goes around. On the 5th of December, on Erin's birthday, she would put her shoes out. They would have to be clean though, and in the hope that Sinterklaas is going to bring some sweets and small presents to fill her shoes up with.
Oh, okay.
So I've heard porridge is quite a thing in some Scandinavian countries.
That's breakfast on Christmas Day. What I did hear in many countries as well is that your Christmas meal is eaten on Christmas Eve. I know that's
It can
true,
be.
isn't it? Yeah, and I think that's Denmark. Is it?
Denmark?
As one of the examples.
Yeah.
But there probably are many others. I wonder if you guys know of any other countries that have different Christmas traditions. Maybe you have family from abroad. So maybe have a discussion about that.
One of the things that I used to enjoy doing on Christmas Eve was writing my letter to Father Christmas. And it was Christmas Eve, I'd write my letter and I would leave it out for him to find.
What would you do with your letter to make sure it reached him?
Well, it would be left with a snack and a drink for him. But I do know some children used to put it on the fire so that it went up the chimney to him.
Okay.
My own children, they posted their letters to him, and sometimes they were lucky enough to get a reply.
Dear Santa, for Christmas this year, I'd really like a red bike. I have been a very good girl, I think. Lots of love, Lily, age 9.
Dear Father Christmas, for Christmas this year, I would really like a new football. My last one popped. I've been a very good boy. Lots of love, Sunny, age 7.
Dear Santa, for Christmas this year, please may I have a doll's house. I've been on my best behaviour. Lots of love, Amelia, age 7.
What else did you leave out on Christmas night to perhaps get a few more presents?
Well, you can never forget the reindeer, so you always need to have carrots for the reindeers. You definitely have a mince pie or two, because we were never allowed to cut the Christmas cake before Christmas Day, and a drink, depending on who made the decision. It could have been a glass of milk, or it could be a sherry, or a glass of port. Sometimes a lager.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
What about the stocking? Did you have stocking?
Yeah, we always had stockings. We used to hang up our stocking on the end of our bed, and we would also have presents under the tree. But the stocking was definitely filled up by Father Christmas.
Some people say they had a pillowcase as well at the end of their bed.
That's right. I think everyone's got their own traditions, and I think if you had a pillowcase, it was because there wouldn't be things under the tree as well.
Right.
They'd maybe just be family presents.
So let's have a look at some of the things that we might find in our Christmas stocking. So Kate's brought one with her.
Here we are. Here's our stocking. Now this would have just had a few little bits and pieces in. So I'll just delve in here, see what I can find. Oh. First present.
Thank you very much. Can anyone see what this might be? So we've got a handle, we've got the cup at the top, and we've got a wooden ball on the end of the string. I'm not sure what the name of this is, but
It's a cup and ball.
Oh! Do you know what? I think I need to practice a little bit more, but I think I definitely had one of these as a child.
Yes.
Yeah, really fun.
I suspect you definitely had one of these.
Oh, definitely.
A slinky toy that would walk down the stairs by itself.
I don't know about anybody else, but we would make a staircase out of things like books and little boxes and things, and see if we could make sort of an agility course to watch them go down. I don't know about anybody else as well, but they used to get tangled quite a lot, and you'd end up ruining your slinky.
Now something that might have been homemade, and I know my stepdad used to make these for all the children around where he lived, is a Jacob's ladder.
Wow.
There you go, have a go.
Thank you. So I've got the top there? Am I just turning
You
it?
just turn it.
Oh, I see. Great.
If you turn it the opposite way, so if you turn it around in your hand, it doesn't work. So you have to be holding it in the right position.
Like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Do you know what? I have no idea how that works. It's genuine Christmas magic.
It's very clever, isn't it? Genuine Christmas magic. And, oh, this one, I think lots of little girls would have been very impressed with having that.
Yes.
So, a knitting dolly. So, did you ever have one of these, Erin?
Yes.
Yeah.
I still do.
You still do?
It looks like, mine looks like a bumblebee.
So you would have wound the wool around the pins, and then you'd have a needle and you'd loop it over, and each time you looped the wool over the pin, your knitting would grow down through the centre here, and it would come out.
It's always very exciting when you work for an hour and you finally see the tail end of the tube coming out the bottom.
But of course, I can also remember when I was little, and my mum's also told me that her dad used to make these for her with just an old cotton reel, big cotton reel, with 4 nails in.
Yes, that's how I started. My granddad is a joiner, and he made us them out of, not dissimilar to that, with the nails, with a large hole in the middle. It's always good to learn something useful as well.
It is, but the question is, when you'd done your knitting, what did you do with it?
Personally, not much, but you can use it for edging, or you can actually stitch it as a flat
To make
surface.
coasters
Yes,
and
you can.
table mats.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I would have done. Now, onto something more traditional. It's in your stocking. That I suspect was always there.
Ah. I love the sound of these snake. So Kayte's just handed me walnut, and I can hear it shaking inside. And these ones are hazelnuts.
They are.
Okay, that's 2 hazelnuts.
And
That one, that's the almond again, isn't
that's
it?
the almond again. Yeah, she's learning.
I never used to like nuts as a child. No.
You always knew it was Christmas because you had nuts in your stocking.
Ah. Okay. What else have you got there? Oh,
Oh,
yes.
a yo-yo.
Yes, a yo-yo. Did anyone else have a yo-yo? How good were you at yo-yo? Is it called yo-yoing?
I think it's called yo-yoing.
Yeah, this is a wooden yo-yos. Yo-yos were very popular when I was a child as well. I don't know if I'm going to be... Oh, got it.
Oh, well done. Can you walk the dog or do tricks?
Oh no, don't. You're asking too much. You're asking too much. What was your favourite toy you used to get in your stocking? That's a good question, isn't it? What was yours? Did you ever get?
A favourite stocking present?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, last but not least, what do you think I've got left?
I have absolutely no idea what's left.
Okay, it's cold. It's sort of round.
Snowball.
No. Slightly squishy. And it's got a nice juicy fragrance to it.
Is it a tangerine?
Yeah.
Yes, tangerine. So these would have been quite a special treat then,
Yeah, they would have definitely been a special treat
in the post-war years.
in the post-war years.
Yeah.
And I think it's become such a tradition.
Yeah.
Even my children have a tangerine in their stocking. But of course, you hang your stocking up, maybe whether it's by the fireplace, whether it's the end of your bed. But it all depends on, have you been good, if it's filled or not.
So, does anyone else remember Christmas during rationing? So rationing ended in 1953? 54. So were you a child around that time? And do you remember getting some exotic fruits, such as tangerines or even things like bananas as well, which were a real special treat?
And were you ever the parent that had to go and fill the stocking and leave it at the end of the bed? Did you ever get caught? So, Erin, what have you got in your hand there?
Well, this is another type of toy that I think was very, very popular. This is from the 1930s and it's a mechanic wind-up cat.
Yeah, and it looks like it's tin plate.
Yes, it's got wheels on the bottom, and I assume that it was be running, possibly chasing a mouse across the floor, which would have been fantastic. And I've seen quite a few different. I mean, you can get all sorts of animals and things for children, and also it does remind me of the tin soldiers as well.
That's right.
Yeah, which little boys and girls would love to have played with. So I just think this is really, really beautiful, and it's not in bad condition, seeing as it's probably
90 years old.
90 years
Yeah.
old. So I'm going to put that one down there. And
I think that's our oldest toy.
I'm not going to turn the key because I don't want to break it, but that's lovely.
Erin, you know that I used to leave a snack for Father Christmas and the reindeers.
Mhm.
What was your tradition for going to bed on Christmas Eve?
Well, we didn't want to go to bed because we were really excited, but the earlier you go to sleep, the sooner Santa will come, hopefully. So we get into bed and we read a story. It's a very special story because hopefully as you fell asleep you might slowly hear the sound of the jingle bells on the roof.
Oh,
But I wonder if you can tell me what story that was.
let me just see if I can guess. It wasn't the night before Christmas, was it?
It was.
A Visit from St Nicholas by Clement Clark Moore. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a lustre of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes did appear but a tiny miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment he must be St Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetops the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed in all fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, and a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Erin, it's been really great taking a look at all of these traditional presents that some of you may have had in your stockings when you were younger. And now's the moment, but I thought I'd share with you. I brought you a little gift.
For me?
Yeah, for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, don't
Hope you
worry.
enjoy it.
Thank you. I got you one as well.
Oh, thanks. That's really kind. Oh, I love presents. Trying to give them a bit of a squeeze and trying to guess what's inside. No, it doesn't rattle.
Shall we open them now?
Why not?
Okay. Ready?
Okay, 3, 2,
2,
1, go!
Open.
Oh, we better wrap this up. It's 7 page. Oh! Oh, wow!
Do you like it?
Oh, I love that.
Is your
Just
favourite?
my colours.
Yeah, I thought it was your favourite
Yeah.
colour.
Always love a scarf. Can't ever have too many.
I'm so
Thank
pleased.
you.
I'm so pleased you like it. I did think of you. Oh, it's socks again. Thanks.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, I can't wait to use these.
So spending time together at Christmas is really important, and I think part of spending that time is sitting back, relaxing, and maybe listening to some music.
Yes.
Have you got a favourite piece of music for Christmas?
I really love the carols, so the classic Christmas carols. My favourite one is Once in Royal David City, because we used to sing that at school when I was in the choir, and I just loved it ever since then. What about you? What's your favourite Christmas carol?
Probably Little Donkey.
Oh,
Yeah.
were you ever in the nativity play?
I played something like a shepherd, a minor role, or I was a narrator.
That's a good one though. You've got a good voice, telling stories.
Oh, thank you.
I was Mary once, I think, and I must have been about 6. I was very, very young, but yeah, I was very proud of that. Probably the rest of the time I was probably just a star.
But I bet your mum and dad were really proud as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, mine and my grandma in the back there, clapping.
But you'd never guess how much time really that is put into putting on those school productions. I think I used to start teaching the children songs in October.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got some popular music here. Maybe you recognise some of these album covers. So what about Rocking Around the Christmas Tree?
Is it Brenda Lee?
Yes it is. Well done.
I do like that one.
What's your favourite popular Christmas song?
I like Mistletoe and Wine by Cliff Richard.
Cliff's always a good winner, isn't he? What about, that's quite a modern classic though. What about White Christmas?
I love it. Yeah, I love that one. Yeah. Bing Crosby, you can't go wrong.
No.
I think he's probably got the monopoly on Christmas songs. What about you? What's your favourite?
Winter Wonderland.
That's a good one.
Yeah. All I need is the sleigh so that I can ring the bells with it as well. And songs for children. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah.
Of course. I've done my best with my Christmas jumper.
Uh-huh.
So, did you have Christmas jumpers or special pyjamas when you were little?
Yes, my favourite thing, I used to like wearing hats as a child. So I had a Christmas hat with a light up bauble at the end, with a little battery pack in there, and it would just flash. But I loved wearing that in the lead up to Christmas.
And then again, it's not just about listening, but watching together as a family. So favourite films. My favourite film was Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh yeah, that's a really lovely one. Yeah. I think my favourite's probably, I actually only saw it recently, It's a Wonderful Life.
Amazing film.
Yeah, and I did have a little tear at the end. I think you have to, don't you?
If it's not a weepy, it's not good enough.
We would like to thank you so much for joining our Christmas reminiscence video today. So it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
Happy
Christmas!
To finish our session today, we're going to hear from the choir at St Mary's First School in Dorset.
Angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Please, was man with man to